Do you know what? We had so much fun the first time around. Welcome back to Deadline Day. Right then, folks. Hello there and welcome back. Now, if you're seeing this, stuff happened. If you're not seeing this, then maybe we'll release it as some sort of extra episode hidden away somewhere. But this then is our deadline day. We've got some money to spend. We've got potential offers incoming. The big one, PSG rumoured to be interested in Frank Kessie. Well, we'll have to wait and see if that ever develops. It'd have to be big money if they're going to get him. But remember, Kessie now signing that new contract. He's here for the long haul. So there's no reason for us to sell him. But again, the offer from PSG is going to have to be a little bit bigger than 54 million because Kessie's quite the player. In terms of what we expect to happen then, well, a few players are having interest in them. Benacer, Conti, Kessie, Romagnoli, again, we kind of know he's going on a free transfer, and Salimiakis, who had a transfer offer and then was really annoyed that I rejected it. Manchester United came in with not enough money, in my opinion. Again, he's got 4 years left on his deal. So I'm not letting you go cheap, mate. It's not happening. Recent performances, by the way. These are great. So we beat Inter 1-0 last episode. A 2-1 defeat in the Italian Cup third round. I thought, we'll just breeze through that. That'll be a doddle. No. A 2-1 win over Zebra. So beating Inter, beating Zebra, obviously the draw to Roma, but a really good win against them. They weren't really at it. It leaves us then second in the league table, still 10 points behind Atalanta, who are impossible to catch, it feels like. I did consider buying some of their players just to try and disrupt. In fact, we might even put some bids in just to try and disrupt. I feel like whatever we can do, we need to do. The three teams behind them, then ourselves, Inter and Napoli, well, it's closely contested right now. Those top four places look like we're seeding them a little bit. Sassuolo have obviously dropped down a touch. Zebra still well out of it. I mean, you can tell why we beat them, really. They're struggling more than you'd expect. Again, obviously losing some big players, so it is to be expected to some degree, but equally, I don't know, they're always a force, right? Look how many times they've won the league in recent years. I mean, that is ridiculous when you scroll there. Good Lord. Right, let's get into deadline day then. We've got 15 hours left to go. As I mentioned, we've got a little bit of money, 23.3 million to spend. Our wage budget, we're a little bit over it, so there might have to be some recalculating if needs be. And squad-wise, I'm not too sure what we need. We've got big injuries hitting us at the moment. Giroud is out for a couple of weeks, but Zlatan is back and ready to play again, fortunately for us. Dybala's still out for 3 to 6 weeks, so getting a short-term replacement for him, maybe. But Diaz has come in and done pretty well, actually. I don't really need to move him in. Diaz is far better creatively than Dybala. That's becoming evident to me. 3 assists and 4 goals. It doesn't look that good necessarily, but that's in 9 starts. It's not too bad at all. He's passing far better than Dybala. So I've been looking at a few of the stats in the data hub. Dybala struggles on the ball comparatively. And then if we're going further back then, you can notice there, Antonio Moranti has had to come in as playing golf for a little bit because Big Mike, has got himself an injury, 2 to 4 weeks with sprained ankle ligaments, so he'll be missing for a little while. When you look at our schedule, that does mean he'll miss quite a few games in there. No international breaks in February, so we'll probably, now I realise it, just miss out on that Liverpool game. It'll be touch and go, but I don't think he'll feature that first leg. Of course, that will be next episode. I did say the deadline day, lots of D's going on for us. The deadline day could be very exciting, and I'm hopeful that it will be. Of course, the big sale so far this window, sold Calabria off to Newcastle, £35 million so far, 2 appearances, not an assist to his name, so a waste of money, in my opinion. Speaking of which, Newcastle, have they made any more deals, or have they got money to spend? Denis Suarez joined them from Celta Vigo, £55 million, goodness me. They've probably got a little bit left, but they've definitely taken a chunk of their transfer budget. Of course, we know how much that is. It's 200 million, it's been well documented, so we know they've got a little bit left to spend. Apparently this young man might be leaving us, the 21-year-old right-back option. How many right-back options do we have? We've just let Calabria go. We've got this guy lurking in the wings. I mean, Kalulu, I might even just promote him right here. In fact, wait, he's in the first team, and I've just ignored him for the entire season. This is horrendous for us. I didn't even know. So can play centre-back and play right-back. How many so Conti's here as well, and Kalulu's in the team. I mean, so many players. Florenzi plays there as well. He's a loan signing at the moment, as well as Salimiakis. So if we do sell Salimiakis, we've got plenty of players ready to come in if needs be. But regardless, 14 hours to go now. And we continue. 14 hours remaining. I feel like that's the only thing missing from deadline day. There should be a voiceover, and they didn't contact me, so fine. 13 hours remaining. Yeah, I think that would have added to it, if anything. Again, so transfer-wise, it's difficult. Because we've got these injuries, all of our players have just come back early as well, it must be said, from the African Cup of Nations. I thought I was going to have to wait an extra week. So it does make our team, when you look at the 11, look far stronger. Tonali drops back to the anchor role. Kessie and Benica in the centre. So now we're again, a lot stronger. Back to full strength almost, just missing Dybala now, and we'd be on it. So, I don't know. I don't feel like we have to do major business. Mike, you'd hope we'll be back pretty soon. Centrally, we're pretty strong. It's very much a situation of, if we sell, we'll have to buy. Of course, the plan is to be at AC Milan again next season and really start to push for Serie A. The title, I'm thinking now that if Atalanta are capable of challenging for it and winning it, then so are we. And there's some work to be done here. The fact that we've only lost one game this season is outrageous. Again, still waiting to see them. Will bids fly in? We've got 13 hours remaining. So I guess we'll have to wait and see. It's now 12 hours remaining. I am going to do it every time, I've decided. So look forward to that. Apparently questions about, we've enjoyed a good season so far. Are you looking forward to deadline day? I'm gonna pretend that we are. If we can bring improving quality, we will do. Speaking of which, then, again, we're in the deadline day. We might as well bring you this. Players do end up on the transfer list that weren't previously there. Now, whether we want to sign those players or not, that becomes the conversation. As you can see here, I was looking at goalkeepers and options at goalkeeper. If we just remove everything here, maybe actually keep loan listed on, you can see a few of the players that are going to pop up at the top of the list. So Moukoko is one of those options. A few of the other youth players around Europe that I'm not as interested in, I have to be honest. And then, of course, I should say, actually, that's on the transfer. Interested. Let's just move it over to loan. I think it's a very similar list, so I don't feel like I've missed anyone too much. I've missed loads of people. Patson Daka from Leicester, previously of Salzburg. I don't think we're going to get him in. It just doesn't feel like the right move. We've got so many striking options. And Brian Gill, of course, with that injury to Dybala, this one did tempt me a little bit, but again, Diaz is doing probably a good enough job, so there's no need for that. Over on the transfer list, this is where things have got a little bit more interesting as we just load all that together. It just takes a little moment. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, Nathan Ake on that list as well now. Titi, a player that we obviously looked at in the summer, didn't happen. Maybe an option for us at centre-back, but we don't necessarily need him. There's a few other players down there as well, like Julian Draxler, Loftus-Cheek, Bradley Dack. I mean, the only reason to bring Bradley Dack in is that Danny Graham knows him very well, and he's been suggesting, what about him? I'm thinking, no, Danny, just calm yourself down. Okay, 12 hours remaining, slowly becomes 13 hours remaining. And still no bids. So it looks like Romagnoli is definitely leaving now. Capone, Ben. Think about it. It's Capone. Like Al Capone. Anyway, sorry, viewers. Capone. I mean, it could be. We don't know. He's not going to make it here, so off he goes. And we're now into 10 hours remaining. And I feel like I've been baited in. I thought bids were going to be happening. Players have been offered by agents. Neto has been offered. That's expensive for a short-term goalkeeper fix. And Divock Origi from Liverpool, I can't imagine he's played that much. I mean, he has played. Started 6 games, got 4 goals. It's not too bad. 9 hours. 8 hours remaining. That's screwed me over. Again, agents offering players out like nobody's business. I'm not sure any of them. I mean, you can see from the ratings on this side, we've got 43 agent offers. I mean, that's too many. I'm just sort of scanning for anything that's not a C option. Merino over from Sociedad. I don't know if he's the guy necessarily. He's the kind of player that if you sell Kessie, you go for him. But with 8 hours to go, we're not seeing anything. I thought Salamiakis, that's who I thought we'd see bids for, but it hasn't developed quite yet. And the midfield too, there's a lot of interest, but not a lot of bids. And without bids, they ain't going anywhere. All right, we go on again, do we? Yeah. 7 hours remain. Even I'm getting bored of it, viewers. Inbox items, agent summary. Horta is now being offered up. Again, they're all a little bit too expensive for me. I don't think they're moves we're going to make. Let's just, again, have a little nab in at the transfer list. We'll just see if anyone else has gone up. Forsberg has requested to leave from Leipzig. This is how different deadline day is now. players in a matter of hours suddenly want moves, they don't get them, so they try and force them, or Forsberg them, doesn't work. So you just never know. Zagadou is on the list down there as well. Eric Bailly has entered this list too. So there are players becoming available that weren't available 3 hours ago. You've got to keep an eye on this year with Deadline Day. I thought Deadline Day was a bit of a, when it was announced, I thought it was a bit of a crap feature announcement. I thought we've had Deadline Days loads of times, but the way in which they've made it more alive and more interesting, actually really good. So my first impressions have changed to now this is good. The Data Hub, on the other hand, I feel differently about, but I'm happy with the way that Deadline Day works. I can just having a look through, there's not a huge amount of players here. Like Masic is the kind of player that would be quite good in the anchor role, I suspect. Like it reminds me of Tim Sparv that I've had there in the past. For those that have watched the stream before, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. I don't think there's necessarily options for us that make a great deal of sense for right now. Like you look through the squad, if we go to, where are we? If you go to squad depth, like striker-wise, we've got these 4 or 5 strikers that are pretty good, including Liao as well, remember. Attacking midfield, we're safe for now. Like basically, I don't want to waste money. Like Dybala's here for a little while. There's going to be exits at the end of the season that obviously impact how we're going to move around. I think centre-back is probably an option, despite buying Abiol, despite buying... who was the other one? That's how bad it's got. Izzo. I nearly called him Rizzo out of Greece, but that's obviously a different person entirely. Like this now looks like a huge, I say waste of money. Like we probably get our money back on someone like Izzo. Still a good enough age, still a good enough defender. You probably still get like 5 or 6 million for him. So it's not that bad a transfer. But because we stepped away from the 3 at the back system that we were previously going to use, it kind of made all these defenders pointless. I was in this world where, well, if we've got 3 defenders and 2 of them get injured, I'm going to need backups that are of decent quality. And switching to 2, we've ended up with about 6 defenders, some of which we don't need. Now, Gabbia could be quite good. And when you realise you've got players like Gabbia, you realise not knowing Milan's side well enough at the very start of Glory Hunter has hurt me a little bit. I mean, Abiol, probably wants to leave. Do you think Izzo would leave now? I mean, this is awful. If you offer him out to clubs, do you think people would be interested, despite the fact that we signed him quite early on? Oh, sorry, viewers, just 2 seconds. Just prepare yourself, Ben. Come on, be ready. Here it comes.
6 hours remaining.
I gave that one a little bit extra, viewers. I don't know if you could tell. No offers for Izzo, so no one is that curious. I don't really want to transfer list him as we get towards 5 hours. Again, still 23 million or so left to spend. A lot of the players on this list would be available at that price as we forward again. Lindelof is on it now. Manchester United are just putting up different defenders, seeing if anyone will bite. Danny Villavain as well, as I've not really mentioned. A decent-ish defender, not really worth the money that I would be willing to pay. Schulz at left back. Now, left back's an interesting one. We don't have a huge amount of cover at left back. I'm looking at his wage. That's foolish. John Joe Shelvey. Newcastle have realised they've got a lot of players they don't want. That's the big moment that we've had today where Newcastle have gone, we should probably just list everybody and see if anyone's interested. I know, I see you, Isaac Hayden, amongst others. I mean, who's there as well? Yeah, Shelvey we mentioned before. I'm not sure bringing John Joe Shelvey in right now is the move for us. None of these players are jumping out as we have to go and get you. Is there players here on this list that aren't interested, that are really good? Other than Mbappe, who we know is going to City, that weirdly is transfer listed via a request to be transfer listed. The rest of the players transfer listed, nicely for us, are interested in Milan, but are we interested in them? So far, I mean, the answer is no. Dyer as well, again, very pacey. We don't really need a player in that mould right now. I think the only player that would wow me, if we've got a deep-lying forward / target man-esque striker, a bit like Zlatan, a bit like Giroud, who is a bit younger, then that would probably appeal to me. But right now, you look at that list, Adam Armstrong's not that guy. I don't think Mariano's that guy. And outside of those two, there's not a huge amount of striking options on there. But there'll be plenty of time for me to sign a past his best striker at some stage. So 5 hours were remaining. As it's sometimes I get a bit laggy when it goes to the next day. For those that are like, oh, you're freezing, Ben.
4 hours remaining.
If anyone's going to bid now, by the way, they're going to have to do it quickly because I've not got a great amount of time left to go. Perisic just got up for an absolute bargain, it feels like. I know he's 32. Again, the wages are just too big for me. We can still move things around to get a player like him, but it doesn't quite make sense right now. Celestin as well from Valencia. Again, we need this goalkeeper. I'm basically just gambling that Menante's going to be good enough. I don't know if he's going to be good enough. He's got good handling, decent one-on-ones, okay reflexes. Obviously getting older at 38, but this is why you have a backup goalkeeper in Italy who is a pensioner. That's kind of how it operates. Just to check the transfer list again, I'm constantly interested to see if any new names are appearing. We've seen plenty pop up in the last few hours that are new. There's none there. Theo Walcott? No, because it's not 2010. So we'll leave that one and we'll continue again. This is, look, this as an episode, obviously not signing anyone isn't hugely interesting, but my thought processes of why I'm not going for players is almost just as interesting as going for them at times. And I'm interested, comment section, are there any players that you're seeing on these lists that could be of interest that we should maybe go out and sign? Gabriel Barbosa is an interesting one. I've signed him on loads of Football Managers and I'm never happy with him. So I'm not going for him. In terms of like deep lying forwards and creative forwards, it's actually quite good. And the big thing really is he's affordable, right? His goal scoring record last season and this is pretty good. But at the same time, am I willing to take a risk on someone like Gabriel Barbosa that everyone goes for? And do I think he's the right man for this Milan team right now? He's very good. The more I look at him, the more I realise how good he is. And at the price we'd have to pay. I've accidentally clicked inquire. I do that every single... We've not got long. Please get back to me with your inquiry. I mean, I've cocked it up, viewers. Okay, they've come back. I mean, it's an outrageous fee. I'm not paying this much. I'll give you 16 million. I'll give you 17 million up front. Forget that. Let's make that 30%. Let's go wild. And let's see what they say to 17 million. They're fine with it. You were supposed to negotiate. I know his transfer value is that. That's obviously a rough guide. I mean, are we going late for Gabriel Barbosa? A striker that I don't need at all. But if there's something to be said about this transfer, Giroud's injured at the moment. Dybala's out at the moment. Giroud's got an extra year on his contract, but might be getting a bit more injured at the age of 35. Zlatan's contract is up at the end of the year. And he wants to explore his options at the end of the season. So I don't think he'll be returning to the side. So it might not be the worst signing to make. But when no players are leaving, this does feel a bit stupid. Anyway, viewers, just bear with me. A lot of admin, a lot of audio-based admin for this. Still 3 hours. It's still 3 hours, viewers. It's kicking off. It's Milan. The board have stepped in. The board feels the club have not brought in enough younger players. They're uneasy about signing. He's 25. Younger players. I'm 30. What? He's so much younger than me. The things I do to be... The more I look at him, by the way, wow, he's improved based on last year. Goodness me. We'll let him go. I mean, I've got to talk to the board. Listen here. Hello! Exclamation point. Hello! This is unprofessional. What can we do for you? Well, I've got a few questions. Please reconsider the blocking of the transfer. He'll be an absolute star here. Your excellent recent run hasn't gone unnoticed. That was bloody easy. Hello! I mean, that was easy, wasn't it? All right, now we've got to talk about his contract. We've got 2 hours left. We've got 2 hours remaining. 2 hours left to go. He's very interested in negotiating terms, but feels there are currently more appealing. There aren't. So stop that. Oh, God, he's locked in everything. Stepping stone. Big pay rise. A position I don't want to play him in. Oh, God, I don't want to do any of those things. I don't know what to do. Do I wait until the summer? And maybe reconsider this. I don't want to do... What does he want money-wise? 105. It's not really unreasonable. He has locked in a minimum release clause, and I'm not that happy about the promises. I really don't like the promises. I know I just break them normally, but I'm trying to be reformed, viewers. I'm trying to be a new me. 70 grand? I'm just going to take the piss. That's what I'm going to have to do. I'm just going to go, 70, mate. He's not happy about me taking the piss. All right, so we'll do 80. You've twisted my arm, Gabby Gol. I think it's fallen through, viewers. It's fallen through. No, sorry, don't announce that. That's not the sort of thing that needs to be announced. 2 hours left to go, and I've cocked it up big time. There is part of me that wants to apologise that you've watched an entire video of a deadline day where I've sold nobody major and signed nobody major, but this is the sort of thing that normally would just go unnoticed and unseen, but I thought I'd bring it to you as something relatively interesting. Timo Werner has become... vaguely available. I've been quiet. Why do I click the wrong one every time? There's 30 minutes to go. I've not got bloody time. I can't withdraw, can I? Because then I can't. Right, I'll withdraw and then I'll try and make a bid. Oh, there we go. Now we're talking. Can we squeeze a loan offer over the line? No. 14 million? Oh, God, why are they doing that? Okay, look, it's very similar to Gabby. God, we'll just do that there. They've accepted. Did I do more money there? Am I an idiot? 30 minutes to go. 30 minutes to go. We'll try our best. But my damn board, of course they do. How old's Werner? 20. What's their problem with 25-year-olds? Right, I'll talk them round. Talk to board. Come on. Hi, Paul. Me again. Can we please, the recent run? You remembered. Fantastic. Excuse me, Paul. You just give me, we've got 15 minutes. 15 minutes remain. I'm not prepared, viewers. We are not going to get this through. This is going to fall through and I'm going to run out of time. Brilliant. No time remain. Well, whoa, that's thanks for watching. If you enjoyed Deadline Day, drop a like on the video. I'll see you tomorrow, gang. Well, that was underwhelming. Moral of the story, don't leave it till Deadline Day because it's too late. Maybe I should have signed Isaac Hayden.